Hundreds of people in our state are missing on any given day, people who are brothers and sisters, mothers and sons, all without their family members.
Not all states have a missing persons database. Iowa does, thanks to a state law. But as KCCI Chief Investigative Reporter James Stratton shows us, that law may need to be changed.
How do you picture
28-year-old,
someone, white man, off of a description?
6'3", 240.
Can you picture that?
Hazel eyes and brown hair.
Or is it him? No, him. Or him. No, him. Did you picture him?
These two here, this is more dressy.
Picture Matt Hollett. The description you heard was his.
It was like the best picture ever.
This is his picture. Mother Deb has only seen pictures of him for 2 years.
The last time our family member heard from him was December 4th.
She has plenty of pictures of him,
His smile was just, when he laughed, it made you laugh.
but no closure.
Is there a body or is he still alive? I have nothing.
Pictures that may lead to someone making something out of that nothing. One problem. The state of Iowa's database with his missing description is missing his picture. Did you know that there wasn't a photo of him on the database?
No, I did not. No. There's no reason why there shouldn't be.
No.
She's not alone. Veronica Bowers has seen only pictures of her brother, Ricardo, for 2 decades. He disappeared near the Des Moines River and Locust Street in 2001.
He could be still alive. No, I don't know. I don't even know if he jumped into the river.
Pictures that are not on the state of Iowa's missing persons database.
If he is still alive, we could identify him pretty easily through a photo.
Correct. The photo is the key to the whole thing.
These are just 2 of the stories of missing pictures for missing people in our state. In fact, on an average day, Iowa has roughly 400 missing people on its database. Yet only 71 of them have pictures for you to identify them.
We are at the mercy of the individual making the missing persons report to the local law enforcement agency.
The Department of Public Safety runs the database, but does not actually have contact with the family of someone who is missing. So if no picture is given to the police department where the report is made, it doesn't make it to the website.
We encourage, if you do have a missing loved one, please submit a photograph.
Now serving 085.
Even without submitting a picture, the state does have pictures of almost all of us through our driver's license photo.
We are not allowed to use driver's license photos when it comes to missing persons cases. The law does not allow us to use them.
The law, the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, states a driver's license photo is highly restricted, and DOT can only share the information if it is requested by the police as part of their official function.
Until that change is made, we will not be using driver's license photos.
DPS does encourage families to share photos with them directly or with their local police department and have an up-to-date photo of kids.
We are visual individuals. Sure. We like to see something. And when there's no picture to see, I feel like you don't get that connection.
A connection, a picture that may help bring a loved one home.
It's really hurting. It's really hurting. And it's really painful that we can't get closure.
In this lifetime, we don't get a lot of justice, but can't I have some kind of justice? Just find them.
To go from descriptions and blank pages to pictures and family members found. You just want your son back?
I just want my son back, one way or the other.
Now, not all states have missing person databases like ours. We wanted to compare Iowa to another state in the country with one. California has a missing persons database. Its percentage of missing people with photos is even lower than Iowa's. It only shares ones publicly, though, that do have a photo. Take David Marchand, for example, last seen in Des Moines, but he could be in California. His missing profile on Iowa's database is on the right, photo list. But in California, he has a photo, a lot easier to tell who he is. We reached out to his family, but have not heard back from his family. After we started asking why driver's license photos can't be used for missing persons, we also called Representative Jared Klein, the chair of the House Public Safety Committee. He says the committee is working to see if there is a way to change Iowa law to use that information and make it more readily available for that database and for missing persons cases. So in a few months, if that law is changed, we could see each and every one of those people with a missing persons on the database with a photo.